It is impossible to live or to die without God, but it is not impossible to think that you are the God. You can't change the ultimate reality, but you can change your experience of it. Whatever you choose or wherever you are, you always have the ability to instantly be home with God.
Hello, Masters. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Swadhyaya session.
So, today I'll be presenting a book called Home with God, right? So, in a one liner, if I want to say, this book talks about a life that never ends. The author is Neale Walsch. So, couple of information about this author. He is a very well-known author of Conversation with God book series. You might be knowing. His spiritual teachings are presented as a modern conversation with God, and his mission is to foster peace, clarity, and love across the globe. So, I will tell you how this book came to me. Initially, when I chose a book that was different, but I ended up presenting this one. But finally, I could know why this book came to me. This is the much needed one for me, right? Um, so this book actually doesn't have any specific chapters as such, but it is distributed across different sections, and each section is getting started with a quote or a thought provoking question, right? That's how the book is organized. um, so let's move on to the first one. So first thing, before getting into the book and understand, I would like to start with this statement. um, it is impossible to live or to die without God, but it is not impossible to think that you are the God. What does it convey? It conveys that you are the God. The God is nowhere else, nobody else. You are the God, right? So, what this book offers to you? So, usually in our physical life, so death is the humanity's greatest fear, right? We avoid discussing about the death. When we hear the word death, we feel somewhat different, weird feeling in our heart space, right? But actually, it is inevitable for everyone. This fear prevents us from living the life to the fullest. So, this book answers to the deepest questions about death, and it provides framework for understanding life through understanding the death, and it offers tools to eliminate the fear and embrace the existent fully. And also it comforts those who facing loss or their own mortality. So if you feel like anything you want to understand in the listed ones, then definitely you should read this book. I am trying to give a synopsis of this book, but I highly recommend that everyone should go through this book and understand what it is, so that you can get the entire information what the author is trying to say. So, once you answer most of the questions about the death, you will have the most of the answers about your life. So basically, what the author is trying to convey is, if you're clear about what this death is all about, then you will get more clarity about life, right? So if you get more clarity about life, then it is very easy to live the life with fullest. That's what the author is trying to convey here. And he is actually giving some 18 remembrances, but due to the time constraint, I'm not covering up all the remembrances, but some of the key remembrances I am trying to embed in the slides where whatever I am trying to explain, right? So let's start with only three foundational remembrance about death. So the first one is, dying is something you do it for yourself. We never thought about this before, right? So we think that death is coming all of a sudden. It's a very ad hoc thing. but actually we are only choosing that, the death. So why this death is for us? Because we are making this conscious choice to transition to the spiritual realm, and also this shapes up the next set of experience. So if we convince ourselves that dying is a conscious choice, so this idea reshapes our perception towards life. We will be like so empowered. Yeah, death is the one I am choosing, and I am getting ready for the next set of experience, right? So this is what we need to understand about the death. We are the cause of our own death. So this is always true, no matter where or how you are dying. So nothing comes into picture. You are the own cause for our own death, right? So every individual is responsible for that. So this realization offers us like an empowerment rather than fear. We are not going to fear anymore about the death, but instead we feel empowered. And it's not a conscious suicide, it means soul level participation to create your next grand reality. And you can't die against your will. Death does not occur against your will. See, in this physical lifetime, we have the limited awareness about this lifetime, right? With this limited awareness, we feel that we are the victims of death. But when you see the death in the multidimensional, it is the perfect choice we are making. So this will give the deeper purpose in all experiences, right? So these are the some foundational remembrance we should have about death. So I said how I was connecting with this book. Initially, I was not so impressed, but the way the author put in a lot of things into the book, it actually gives me a very good connection with this book. So usually I am a person who believes in learning, right? So I always make sure that I am learning something. So let it be technology or let it be my hobby, cooking, whatever it is, right? So the same attitude I have in the spiritual domain as well. So I always look for what I can learn something new. So this attitude I have. But after reading this book, my attitude has completely changed, because the author is nudging remembrance instead of learning, right? So what he is actually saying, so let me explain here. Let's start with this quote: there is no truth except the truth within you. So there is no truth available externally, every truth is inside you, right? So let's take an example of a tree. You know, the tree doesn't learn how to grow, it always know everything is inside the seed. The tree's initial is like it gets started from a seed. So if you look at the seed, all the information exists within the seed itself. Nobody is teaching the tree how to grow, right? So similarly, if you come to the spiritual truth, everything exists within us. It's from birth, right? So if I say birth, it's not a single birth, it comes from different lifetime, and we have taken lot of lifetimes from the beginning, and we never know how much we have taken. But all the learnings and everything, it is embedded in our soul. So what we think is maybe we have to learn something to go to the next level, right? What we learned, what we are going to learn new, what kind of experience we need, everything we look outside, but we always miss looking inside. So the author is nudging that learning is one extent, but remembering is the most thing you have to look after, right? So having said that, how the external experience is playing a major role in our remembering or learning path, right? So the outer world always serve as a signpost. See, when you are conversing with the people around you, when you are having the interactions, doing sajana sangatya, whatever it is, right? So it reminds us the inner truth. Let's take a small example. uh, One classroom, right? 50 different students, one teacher, he's delivering one concept. He's trying to teach the 50 students with a one concept. But at the end of the class, if you ask the different students, you will get a different perception of the same concept, right? Nothing is different. The same teacher, same concept, same classroom. But the understanding of the concept is getting changed based on the inner truth. Everybody is looking at a different perception altogether. That's why the answers are unique. So, if you take our spiritual path, no single path is superior than another. Everybody can take a different path. It doesn't make sense. You can follow a different religion, you can take a spiritual path, you can follow a number of things. But at the end, everything serves the same purpose. It is assured that everyone will return to their spiritual home. The journey may be different, the teachings may be different, but each individual is definitely he is going to return to the spiritual home, right? So the insight here is focus on your heart and the personal truth rather than solely relying on the external teaching. All the life experiences, including death, are sacred opportunities for growth and love, right? So let's move on. So we talk about the life as experience and growth. We have n number of experiences. We are getting benefited from the different lifetimes. Right. So the author is giving a very good statement about the life purpose. See, I have tried many modern techniques to figure out what could be my life purpose. Always I'll become a bit anxious about what could be my life purpose. Where should I go? Right. I have tried the techniques like a Venn diagram. You put together your interest and what is your satisfaction, what job is giving your satisfaction, or what job is making you to earn money, and put a Venn diagram, and intersection will give you what is your life purpose, right? So I have done these exercises before, but none of the exercises were trying to convince me that this is your life purpose. But when I read this book, the single statement, it was completely resonating with me, that I was so convinced, 100% convinced with what is the life purpose is. So he says that there is no specific thing, you have to do this, you have to do that. Nothing. It's all about just experience and express. So experience each and every moment and express the soul essence in the physical form. It's a beautiful statement. I fell in love with the statement. So the life purpose is just experience and express. That's all. You don't need to go and search anywhere. Just look inside. What is the experience you have and express it. Express your soul essence in the physical form. That's it, right? So where are we experiencing these things? So we have three levels of consciousness, right? So conscious mind, subconscious, and superconscious. So conscious is more on aware of thoughts and decisions. So the experiment data says that your conscious mind contribute only 5%, right? The major role in our life is subconscious. So subconscious mind is playing a major role because, see, right from our childhood we have lot of beliefs the society has seasoned in such a way that, see, you have to behave in this way, you have to talk in this way, you have to act in this way, right? And lot of beliefs, lot of patterns, it was revolving around us. So subconscious mind started seasoning from the childhood. So 90% of the time we react to a life event based on the belief system what we have. So it comes from your subconscious, it acts as 10x, right? So that is the nature of subconscious. And superconscious, it is the, you can say it is the deep storage where you can have all the experience what you have gained throughout your lifetimes, right? So basically this is the connection to a divine wisdom. You think about that, there is a single place where you can find all your experience whatever you have gained throughout your lifetimes, how it would be. That's awesome, you know. So it is if you ask me a question, is it accessible? Yes, it is accessible. That's why we have the meditation practices. When you go to the deep meditation practices, definitely it is accessible to your superconscious mind. So basically, that is the divine wisdom. So now we know where we are experiencing, right? But how are we creating these experiences? So it is thought, word, and action. So what we think, it becomes a word. What we talk, it becomes your action. So your thought, word, and action, everything combinedly shaping your reality. So if we think that we are creating these experiences or reality only in the life, but actually that is not truth. We are creating experiences based on our belief system, thought, word, and action, even after the death. I'll cover up in the just next to this topic how we are creating the experience even after the death. So the initial afterlife experience is based on our own belief, right? So we can say that we are constantly creating our experiences throughout life and even after the death. So so the insight here is you can't change the ultimate reality, but you can change your experience of it. So this is the one we can take it along. So you can't change the reality, but definitely you can change your experience towards it. So we saw how we are getting experiences, how we are creating the experiences, right? But we need to understand, we can take a step back to understand what is the underlying formula for creating this reality. So it is a hope and belief. So what is hope? That is the foundational start, right? It is the even if the hope is small, over the period of time, the hope is getting strengthened and it opens the doorway to belief. The hope will become your belief system. So your belief system is the triggering point for creating the experiences. So the hope, it is not only in life, even after life it can transform your experience. So hope is the foundational things. So once the hope is there in your heart space, then the belief will come into picture. So let's say you believe in God, you think that or you believe that Krishna is your God, right? So you will end up seeing Krishna once you die. If you have a belief around Allah, you will see Allah you at the end, at the time of your death. But if you don't have any preconceived notion, God presents himself as pure love. That's what the beauty is. So you just think about how our belief system is influencing our experiences, not only in life but also in death. So it can transform our experiences. Moving on to the next one. So right, we talked about experience and we talked about how we are creating the experiences where we are experiencing all those things, right? So we have some literal some of ideas in life, but just moving to the next one, how these experiences we have even after the death. So the author is categorizing the process of death into three stages. The first stage is realization stage. So when you vacate your physical body, the energy body emerges out of the physical body, right? So that is the first time you really feel the disorientation with your body. At the same time, you feel the freedom from the physical pain. And at this point of time, you are just moving, your awareness is getting shifted from physical body to the energy body, and you experience the complete peace and unconditional love. So this is the stage you realize that I am not the body, I am an energy body, right? So the dense body will become the energy body. This is the first stage at the moment of death. Second stage, the author is calling it as a mind based creation. So this is the very important understanding we need to have. See, right from our childhood, if you think through, uh, so many people around us, hey, they might have talked about like, hey, how the heaven look like and how the hell look like. right? And we had lot of movies, lot of stories, books around that. So what happens is we started building our own definition, static definition about heaven as well as hell. This is our own definition based on the seasoning what society has given to us, right? So, but actually speaking, there is no place called such as hell, and there is no such thing. Hell is not there, heaven is not there. So, where it is coming from? So, it is coming from your mind space. So, based on the belief system, what we have developed, our mind has created some sort of imagination, some sort of illusion. Okay, after death, I will go to heaven. I will enjoy all these things. After death, I have done these things, negative things. No, I don't have any chance to go to heaven. Maybe I will end up in hell. So, in the hell, what kind of experiences I may have? So, these stories you build already when you are in the physical body, and your mind has created that experience as well, right? So it is in this stage you are still operating from mental construct and illusion. So this is one of the things we need to probably work on. We don't need to think so much happenings about the unknowns. Let's be positive. Let's not think about anything. Let's not have a preconceived notion about the experience even after the death, right? So this is the uh, good knowing about the mind based creation even after the death. So this is the third stage. This is the merging with the essence. So whether you created the mind imagination or illusion when you are in the physical body, it doesn't matter. Every soul, when the soul is reaching in the stage 3, this is the actual experience every souls will undergo. So this is common for everyone. So what is happening in this stage? The first thing is every souls will be presented with all the important life moments, specific understanding, right? Everything it will be presented for the souls for their review mechanism. So the soul will witness what are the moments we have undergone, and with a different perspective altogether. So if any of you have attended the retreat, you must be knowing we have done an assignment, that self reflection, right from the childhood we have listed down what are the important moments we had, and we have actually witnessed what kind of emotions also we have undergone through that review process. So we have done that assignment. So when I read this book, I found a significant difference between that exercise and the afterlife reflection, because even the same exercise I do it every year on my birthday. But that time what I have done is I will look at the emotions what I have undergone, right? But this same self reflection, when you're doing a life review after your death, the what the important thing which is making a difference is you not only witnessing your own emotion, but also you witness the emotional impact on others as well. That is what important. So this will give a multi-dimensional perspective. So you know what is the pain you have given to others, how others have experienced this, how they have looked at. So different perception, multiple dimension, right? Everything comes together. That is the perfect review and the perfect learning, right? So you will come to know what are the ripple effects of your actions. Everything you will learn in this stage. So after this life review, you will completely immerse with the essence. So there is one more thing which we need to understand before merging with the essence, right? So after life there is no suffering. So if you look at the entire cycle, it's going to be continuous. There is no stop, there is no end, there is no destination. Hey, I have done all this, listen, I have learned all this, listen, finally this is my final, this is the destination I have reached. There is no such thing. So it's a continuous cycle. You have a life, you will undergo death, then you will move to the spiritual realm, and you have lot of grand choices to decide your next birth. So you take a rebirth and you experience the new experiences, you will get it, right? So it's a continuous cycle. There is no stop in between. So as I said, when you're moving or when you're merging with the essence, there is one thing which you will undergo, which is moving through the core. When you are moving through the core, what you will undergo is, you will figure out what are the core issues we have. See, for example, when we are in the physical body, we always identify what is the self identity we have. We have lot of self doubts, we have fear of abandonment, and we have questions on the belongingness. All these things, everything we have when we are in the physical body. But what we do is sometimes we ignore. Maybe this is very normal, and we never retrospect these kind of issues, and we never confront these things, right? And we just go on with the life. And when we are going through the death process, that's how the energy shift has happened, that's how the transformation has happened, right? So you will move from the physical to non-physical energy body. So when you move there again the issues will come up. If you would have already released your core issues, then you feel centered in the other side. And whatever the issues we are still unresolved, it will again resurface for you to review and making the right choices, right? So now you have reviewed and you have known, okay, these lesson I need to learn, right? So some sort of understanding you have at this point of time. So the next is your great opportunity to pick up choices. So it is about, this is the, you just close your eyes and think about, you are freed up from everything. You shed all your identities in the physical life. See, I'm a mom, I'm a manager, I'm a director, or whatever, right? I'm a leader. I am making a lot of things in the physical body. Just close your eyes, shed all your identities, and you are in the center of your being, and you know what needs to be done. And you are given as the free choice, right? You do whatever you want, it's your choice, it's your call. When you get this opportunity, what you will choose? So this is the time you feel the complete empowerment within yourself. So this is the time you just release everything and get ready for the new experiences. So this is a very very important thing when you are merging with the core. So you will realize all the things in that space. So that's why we are saying every death has a purpose. None of the death is wasted. The timing, circumstances of the death are always perfect, and every death bring lessons, not only for the living as well as departed, because you know what is the lesson you have learned. And the livings who lost their loved ones, they also will have some lesson they have learned from this soul, right? So it is like a collaboration process. You also learn, I will also learn, so both will learn and grow. That is what the death is bringing. It is the reconnection in a deeper level. So this is what the death is bringing. Now we have understood what is the death is all about, right? So let me start with two statements. uh, Nearly every person who is dying is not dying for the first time. The death of every person always serves the agenda of every other person. That's why no death is wasted. So the author has given n number of examples why the death is happening, and clients have reached out to him for what is the reason of the death, all those things. If you go, if you're really interested, just go through the book, and um, understanding those examples will really help you, right? So couple of things about, because this is the most significant one. Even I had the questions, why children who passed away yearly, right? So what the author is saying is, the children who is spending a very brief physical presence in this world, they often have a significant spiritual roles to others agenda. So they came here to teach others, right? So to serve others agenda. So that's why they may serve as angels or guides. So this is one thing for the children who pass yearly. This is the understanding or reasoning behind that. um, so what you can offer to others, for those who are facing death and for those who grieve. So I will just give an example from my life. It's very recently, 6 months back. One of my neighbors, she lost her husband at a young age. So I'm a person who is bit hesitant to talk about these kind of things to a person who is not aware or who is not familiar with this kind of concepts, right? So I always look for a match, so that the discussion will be interesting. So I was bit hesitant to talk about these things to that lady, because I don't know how she will take up. But I got a chance to talk with her on the third day. So I have touched upon all these concepts: what is physical realm and what is spiritual realm, how the divine truth is, how everyone is well connected, there is no death as such, right? So I have talked with her about these concepts, and then I have told her, I have given one exercise to her, that see, if you want to come out of this, first start writing a letter to your husband in whichever the form you believe, right? You write a letter to him. One thing, you capture what are the lessons you have learned from him. If two souls are coming together for a life, definitely you have a lesson to learn, right? So you capture all those lessons, and then write all the things which you are grateful for, right? So these two things, you write it as a letter. This is what I ended that conversation with her. So after a month, she turned back to me and said, Lakshmi, when you said all these things on the third day, I was literally don't have any clue about, because she's not a meditator. So I literally had no clue what you're talking about. But the way you educated me, that helped me to some extent to feel the calm inside me, right? So that is the moment I understand that maybe we have to definitely try out or educate others, so that it will transform their state. They will convert their grief into celebration based on their inner truth, right? So, and then she also said that, see, I have written that letter. After writing the letter, I felt calm, right? I felt the satisfaction, and also to some extent, maybe this is much needed for me, right? The death is becoming meaningful. So though she didn't realize or convince 100%, at least she has come from 0% to 40%. That itself is a great progress for her. So you educate them to transform the grief into celebration, so you can put your best effort in your daily life. So having understood all these theory parts, right, what could be the takeaway, or what we can integrate in our practical life? That's what it becomes more relevant, right? Always I look for what I can take it and integrate, so that the book reading will be become more effective. So understanding the death, it will make you to live without fear. You can eliminate the fear of dying, as and you will understand the life never ends, it's a continuous cycle, so that you start engaging in your own life and live the life to the fullest. And also you will remove the anxiety of the unknown. What will happen after the death? Will I be going here, or what is could be the next lifetime? There is no question, there is no logical mind comes here. So you will remove the anxiety, because there is no punishment or reward system. But what is there available for you is it's an infinite possibilities. There are only choices and their consequences, so you decide what you want to do. So none of the choices are wrong. You can, you have n number of choices, you can choose anything out of that. Every choices will have their own consequences, but end of the day, at I as I said before, everybody will they reach their spiritual home, right? So at this lifetime, you just recognize your creative power and take the responsibility of your choices, and shape your reality through your thought, word, and deed, and stay or return, select your next experience, right? This is what you can do it. So as we say that we have endless possibilities, there is no end. What you can, you don't need to chase anything, right? Why you are running behind something? Hey, I have to achieve this, I have to do this, I have to complete this. You don't need to run behind. The only thing is, every moment is a sacred moment. So practice awareness and presence, and life is an opportunity for growth. Definitely, growth is there, irrespective of your choices. You will learn different lessons, irrespective of choices. So focus on experiencing the fully now. So, to continue the same lines, relationships always matter. Have you ever met a person before, and just knew that you have known them before? I have experienced this many a times, because you just look at a person, or just meet the person for the first time, but you can feel a lot of love in your heart space, right? You have interacted, you never exchanged your experiences, nothing happened. First time, it's a kind of love at first sight. So this feeling is awesome, right? So these kind of instances or the examples backing up the theories what we have learned. The theory what we are talking about is connections continue beyond death. So these kind of instances is backing up this truth. So we are here beyond our death. These are all divine connections, and the relationships brings you a lot of, sometimes they bring only pure love, right? Sometimes they challenge you, but challenges are good for you because it will help you to tap your potential. So each relationship meaningful, and they come to our life with very good reasoning for a purpose. So respect each relationship and try to understand and learn lesson from the relationship. It good for us. So as we have gone through multiple stages of death, always we have a temptation, right? When can we connect with our essence? When the time comes. So do we really need to wait for our death to connect with the essence? The answer is no. We don't need to wait for the death. That's how our spiritual practices comes into picture. So meditation connects us to the divine essence, right? You can definitely experience the divinity within yourself. You can connect with your soul, and you can connect with the essence. So meditation is the best thing to do it. So this is the core. Whether you are doing anything or not doesn't matter. Prioritize your meditation practice. So along with that, raise your vibration, raise your energy, raise your awareness. It can lead to, you can make you to experience the spiritual home instantly, right? So, and also turn focus on your feelings rather than just thoughts. Feeling comes from your heart space. Focus on your heart space and try to feel it rather than thoughts. And finally, you prepare for your death. So now, anyway, you are going to do a review mechanism. So whether it is now or after death, doesn't matter. Start doing now. What are the core issues you have? List down. Work on each and every issues. It is not the surface level working. It is deeper. Each and every issues, you just meditation practice will look at the issues in a deeper level. It will connect yourself to the issues, and it will help you to figure out what is the resolution for that. It will help you to resolve conflicts with relationships. So I just conclude this session with a final thought. So whatever you choose or wherever you are, you always have the ability to instantly be home with God, right? So this is what it is. So I'll stop here, and thank you everyone for being here, and my deep gratitude to Pradeep sir, BHF team, and TOT participants. Thank you so much for everyone. Open the floor for questions if you have. I will try to answer based on my.
Hi, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the beautiful session. It was a very enlightening presentation, I would say. I had just one question is you said that this book changed your perception in terms of, you used to draw a Venn diagram and this book changed your perception. So what has the change come into you currently after reading this book?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the question. So uh, see, I usually look at a couple of things. Sometimes it is we are in the human, right? So we always look at things in a very logical way. The temptation is how to figure out my life purpose. I chase behind. The moment I come to reality, everybody is talking about what is my life purpose, what everybody is living a purpose, but I don't have any purpose, right? I don't connect with any of the things, right? Hey, the purpose is to plan, purpose is to look after your children, or purpose is to teaching, whatever it is, right? So but always I don't have that connection with the result what I am getting when I am making the logical conclusion, right? But the one which resonated with me is like a feeling. So as I said, learning to is some extent that is a secondary, but remembrance is the primary. So I always miss this remembrance. So I looked externally about my what is the life purpose. Life purpose for me, my understanding is life is just experience and express, that's it, right? Every moment, because we already have a soul, we always forget what we have inside, right? I always looked at outside to figure out my life purpose. So finally I am convinced at this point of time that I just want to experience the moment. I don't have any commitments. I don't have any responsibility. Let me experience this moment and express the soul essence. This is what I loved it. So, and express the soul essence in the physical form, right? So, I'm totally 100% convinced with this life purpose. So, this is what it changed. And it has reduced the burden to figure out the life purpose now. I'm not going anywhere to what is my purpose, what is my person. I'm not asking the questions as well. So I'm connected with my heart. My feelings say that yes, you are in the right path. You have to just experience and express your soul essence. That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Very nice. It was a very beautiful book. Thank you so much for presenting that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I hope I have conveyed the message, because I found difficulty how I am going to present this. But anyway, if I would have conveyed the message, that's great. Thank you.
I have a question on the point where you mentioned about this completion. Uh, as in, any path you take, you finally go towards the truth. I mean, the crux I understood as that. But there you also mentioned it could be a religious aspect or different things. But in our, my understanding here in BHEF is more from meditation and knowing the truth from within. So when religion comes into play, then there is a lot of uh, predetermined rituals and stuff like that. What did you understand at that point of reading the book at that stage, where it says it can be any religion, but still your purpose could have been,
Yeah.
yes, I did. The takeaway for me also is this purpose thing. I didn't do any Venn diagram like this guy or whatever, but
Yeah, I got this.
yeah,
I got your question where it is coming from as well. Thank you for that. So basically, when I say the soul will take multiple path, right? So it's not like you just pick up this path and you will reach the spiritual home. It's not the case. We have understood the soul evolution, right from baby soul till the transcendental soul. And this is the path in each. For example, when you are entering the young soul, right, after your name and fame, everything you got completed, and then by the time you get started with the religion, and nowadays religion becomes more like a giving visibility and other things, right? So you will start
super
with that.
close.
Yeah, but slowly you will evolve. It is end of the day, everybody whoever started, irrespective of whatever the religions or spiritual practices, whatever they have started, they have to evolve, and then they have to understand the truth, and they have to finally come to the meditation path to realize themselves. So the point where you are realizing yourself, that is the thing you will reach the spiritual home, right? That is one thing. The second part is when I say whether you take a different path or not, you will reach, because we have a checkpoints in the spiritual realm, right? You just go there, you understand the multiple dimension, and you do the review mechanism. What needs to be done next to reach the spiritual home, right? So that will really help you. What is your next step? What is going to be your next new experiences? So these kind of the choices of new experiences will lead you to the completion of path. So the choices and the evolution, definitely it contribute to that. So religion, when I mentioned in that text, it means that you start from the religion, and then you will evolve, and then finally realize the truth.